Hi everyone, this is Learning with Linda, and today we're going to update regarding the SNAP emergency allotments. We have the list of states who are sending the last emergency allotments in the month of February and then also March. And also guys, remember that the last emergency allotments will be ending in the month of February. Once again, I repeat, the emergency allotments will also be ending in the month of February. However, there are some states like California, Nevada, or Minnesota that will be sending their last extra allotment from the month of February in the month of March. We also have an update regarding the state stimulus for those in the state of Michigan. So for Michigan, your governor just announced a new tax rebate that could go as early as this spring. So make sure you guys stay until the end of this video to ensure that you receive this information. Now, before we get started, if you're interested in the latest news regarding stimulus, child tax credit, SNAP, p-ebt, and everything in between, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Now let's get right to it. And so as always, here we have the updated list of the states who are no longer providing the SNAP emergency allotments. So these states have already ended their state COVID-related emergency declarations and therefore have ceased issuing the emergency allotments. So in this list is the state of Missouri, Florida, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee. These are the states that ended their benefits in 2021. Then in 2022, the following states also ended their benefits. That includes Iowa, Arizona, Kentucky, Indiana, Georgia, and Alaska. And then in January of 2023, South Carolina also ended their benefits. So moving on to some payout dates for February of 2023. So here we have the list of states that will be sending their benefits this month. However, some states are usually 1 month behind. So here we have the payout dates for the SNAP emergency allotments from January. So starting off with California, they'll be receiving their benefits from January on February 4th or February 12th. Then we also have Kansas receiving their benefits from January on February 19th all the way through the 28th. Hawaii, February 13th, Massachusetts, February 2nd, Minnesota, February 7th, all the way through the 28th, Nevada, February 11th, all the way through the 14th, and Vermont, February 14th. Next, we also have the payout dates for the month of February regarding the SNAP emergency allotments. So in this list of approved states is the state of Colorado from February 19th all the way through the 24th. Also, Connecticut is on this list, February 15th. Delaware, February 27th. DC's, as always, on a regular issuance schedule. Illinois from February 28th from February 20th all the way through February 28th. Once again, Illinois, February 20th all the way through the 28th. Louisiana, February 4th, the 11th, the 18th, or the 25th of this month. Maine, February 10th. Maryland, February 4th, all the way through the 23rd. Michigan, February 18th, all the way through the 28th. And New Hampshire, February 2nd or February 17th. For those in the state of New Jersey, February 1st all the way through the 5th. New Mexico, February 1st all the way through the 28th. And then for those in New York City, February 10th all the way through the 27th. And then for the rest of the state, February 6th all the way through the 22nd. We also have North Carolina, February 22nd all the way through March 3rd. Ohio, February 27th or the 28th. Oklahoma, February 10th through the 15th. Oregon, the payout dates are February 10th or February 27th or the 1st of March. Pennsylvania, February 15th all the way through the 1st of March. Rhode Island, February 3rd. And Texas, February 3rd or February 7th all the way through the 10th. The state of Utah is also depositing payment on February 25th, Virginia February 16th, Washington February 1st through February 20th, West Virginia February 8th, and Wisconsin February 18th. And then, of course, we have the March payout dates. But remember, these are only the states that are usually 1 month behind. So these are the states that will be sending their benefits from the SNAP emergency allotments for February in the month of March. So starting off with Alabama, they're sending their benefits from February on March 1st. Then California, same thing, their benefits from the month of February on March 25th. Hawaii, March 13th. Kansas, March 22nd, all the way through the 31st. And Vermont, March 14th. And moving on to other important news for my friends in the state of Michigan, your governor has put a proposal on the table where he's saying he wants to issue a $180 check for each Michigan tax filer. So let's go into some of these details. So each Michigan tax filer would share in the state's record budget surplus by receiving a check for $180 under a proposal from Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Democratic majority leaders in the House and the Senate. So the checks could be issued as soon as the spring or early summer, this according to Whitmer spokesperson Bobby Leddy. So the total cost of the checks, which would come from the general fund, would be of $800 million, he said. Whitmer said the checks are one piece of a broader inflation relief plan that also targets tax cuts and credits for retirees and low and moderate income workers. Now, the state has a budget surplus of about $9 billion after state tax revenues repeatedly exceeded expectations following federal stimulus measures in 2020 and 2021 that were prompted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And then for my friends in the state of Maine, Maine is also sending $450 in tax rebates to eligible Maine residents. So remember that Governor Janet Mills said the first round of the $450 one-time heating assistance checks are now in the mail and should arrive later this week. So you want to make sure you're checking your mail. Maine Revenue Services then plans to continue issuing an estimated 20,000 checks per week beginning next week, with the vast majority of qualifying Maine residents expected to receive their payment by the end of March. So there is nothing an individual needs to do to claim their payment. It's according to the governor's office. When it comes to eligibility, eligible recipients are those who filed their 2021 Maine individual income tax return by October 31st of 2022, are not claimed as a dependent on another person's tax return, and have a federal adjusted gross income of less than $100,000 if you're filing single, $150,000 if filing as head of household, or $200,000 for couples filing jointly. And of course, as you may know, it is tax season, you guys. And here is a message that I have straight from the IRS where they are suggesting for you to wait to file your taxes if you received a special payment from your state in the year 2022. So millions of Californians in 2022 got a special check from their state government to offer relief from a variety of negative economic events, including inflation. So millions of taxpayers in other states got different types of special payments from their state governments as well, such as income or property tax rebates. So while those payments are likely not going to be taxed at the state level, they may be subjected to income tax at the federal level. So the IRS has said it expects to provide additional clarity for as many states and taxpayers as possible as soon as this week. So last year, a total of 18 states issued rebates of some kind, as according to the Tax Foundation, and that included the states of Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Virginia. And so in the meantime, the agency advises filers who received a special state payment to hold off on filing their returns until guidance is issued. So in other words, guys, they're telling us to wait, right? So for those who have already filed, the advice is to not file an amended return right now. So the best course of action is to wait for additional clarification on state payments rather than calling the IRS. And I'm sure they're receiving tons of phone calls right now. So however, if a payment is issued solely for disaster relief or general welfare needs, then it likely would be exempt from federal income taxes, is something that was said by Annette Nellen, a California-based CPA and tax professor at San Jose State University. And that is all the updates that I have for today. Remember to turn on your notification button to know when I have uploaded a new video. See you guys next time.